What's up? Thank you for passing by. My name is Phil and I am from Mints and Drops. And today I'm having the pleasure to receive on the show no other than my brother from another, Batty Hatti. He is coming on with some more heat next week, the 13th and 14th, with the HEDERAs. That man knows everyone inside the ecosystem, and he's bringing up his core value at the very center, NFT and academics, learnings and crypto. Enjoy. We're gonna just go and just flow, right? Batty Hatti, thank you so much for being here today.
Phil, I'm so excited. Phil, actually, I love our interviews; they're great. I'm so pleased we get to do it again.
I'm delighted that you have the time, man. Because man, you're busy AF. And look, I got a new background. Look what I've done with the place. You know, it's changed since the last time you passed by, right?
Absolutely amazing, and especially the HEDERA logo in the background and the light. So cool.
Yeah. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you. Obviously, very busy.
Yeah.
Classically, got hit with for some reason when I do a big launch, I get hit with COVID.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I remember.
You know, I thought it was just Vicente that had killed me off, but it's just the process. But no, really good. Been really busy. Really looking forward to the next few weeks and months and this year. And yeah, just can't wait. Just literally can't wait.
And how has it been since like right now? Since when's the last time we spoke? Was it in summer, end of summer, I believe, August?
Yeah.
What's,
you know what?
Yeah.
It's been brilliant. I mean, for us, that period of time, I think we just launched Pixel Drops.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's gone phenomenally well. We're so happy with how the community took to that project. You know, just getting the amazing community mods like yourself and Binks and Renly and Hangry and all these people that are invested in, you know, Sophie. I don't want to forget people, but I'm sure we'll. All the people that are happy to volunteer to help. And it's not a busy Discord at all, but just the fact that people are prepared to help and say, yes, we'll support the project. And there's people that have collected all 100 pixel drops.
Yeah.
Just being able to, if you like, see that project grow. I think we've had over 3,500 pixel drops minted out of 10,000, which is phenomenal, really.
Wow, I didn't know. Wow, congratulations. Wow.
Yeah, great. And they sort of trickle along, and it's just a great platform to introduce people into the ecosystem. Nearly finished series 2, and can't wait to share that. But what we said is that if they all sell out, we'll launch series 2, or if not, after a year, we'll launch series 2 for those that want them. And so when we spoke, I think we launched Pixel Drops, and that's just gone well. The community challenges have gone well. People have engaged. We've had new people come in. We've collaborated with Helping Hands to help onboard people.
Yeah,
which is really good. Because there are so many projects that have got the same intentions of helping people get into the space, educating people. And as an educator, you don't compete on a business level. You're all driving towards the same goal. So we're going to launch our next community project after the Generation H launch, and that's going to be based on work by Robin Heltham, who's also a moderator in both Discords, actually. And she's an Australian artist. Her work is really vibrant and colourful, and it's all going to be about bright colours, having fun. We're just raking together some H to get some really good prizes, actually. I've got a goal of having like a first prize. Not it's about a competition, but I really want to kind of drive traffic through. So we're going to try and look at getting like an iPad as a top prize, and maybe some art materials like pens and paints and things like that as a runner-up prize, just to see if we can engage more young people, engaging creativity with their friends and family and so on. And that will run for a couple of months. They're always a bit of a slow burner in terms of we don't rush it. So we're looking forward to that in terms of Pixel Drops, and then that will hopefully lead to late summer, early September, when we can do the second drop and go from there. So
You had the whole year planned out already.
Oh, do you know, I've definitely learned, we're learning to be, you know, we've got so many ideas, and working with people like Elizabeth Chase, it is about understanding that you can have lots of ideas and it's great, but actually you need to have quite a clear focus in direction of travel and organize. You know, when we launched, we were launching, if you like, in the fog. We were just winging it.
Yeah.
We'll go to go mint, we'll do XYZ.
Oh, you're a pioneer, man. Nobody was doing it back then when you started. So of course you swing in the fog, man. You were setting up the forest, bro.
Absolutely. And we were like,
you were planting trees.
No experience. And we made loads of mistakes. And the Emporium, we're proud of our mistakes. Even on our pixel art, there in series 1, there are lots of mistakes. And Vicente pointed them out quite a lot. Why we learned so much from doing the CZV1 stuff. So we're now applying those lessons, and we're, you know, moving forward in a much more kind of focused and coherent manner. We've, you know, streamlined and crystallized what our goals and ethos actually is, because it was always there within our core, but it was like, okay, so which direction do we go in, and so on. So Generation H has been worked on since, well, before the start of last year, around November 21.
Wow. Really? Wow.
You know, we did series 1, which never actually made it onto a launch pad because Exact went down and so on. Generation H, we started working on that just around the same sort of time as the CZH bed, like the CZV1 as it is now known, work. We were also collaborating with Ancient Panda, which is Mintsand Alpha, and that collaboration actually never saw the light of day for a number of reasons, but the work that was there was phenomenal and definitely inspired some of our Generation H work. So it's been a year, but it's been a year of, I'm not happy with that, let's redo that. I'm not happy with this, let's do that again. How can we make that better? Learning from people like Hangry, from other projects. Like, how do you do generative one-of-one art and make it unique, so the rarity is something that people are really interested in? What types of layers do you create? So Generation H has got, I think, 16, 17 different layers, attributes, with, I think, near on 100 different traits, and ranging in rarity and so on. And we had to learn how to use Hashlips. We had to learn how to use Visual Studio Code to be able to generate the artwork, and that's addictive. And I was generating work even after I'd nailed the artwork because it was fun. But what I did spend a lot of time doing was looking at, okay, how is the rarity distributed? So at the moment, 676, 7 thing going on, like, what does that mean?
How and where do you start with rarity when you put up a collection like that? How does it work? Like, I mean, of course it's maths, right? Yeah. I get that, but how do you move forward with this?
On Hashlips, it's not easy. So on Kabila, they've cracked it. So on Kabila, you could list all your traits. Say you've got a trait, say, I don't know, hats. You could say, this hat I want X%, 2%, this hat I want 10%, and you can do it really simply. So the pink hat, which is only 2%, will be minted 2%. But with Hashlips, you can't do that. You have to weight it. So you might have to say 98 for the pink hat, and for a black hat, if you like. And for the pink hat, you might weight it 1, and you might get 4 of those. Right? So it is a bit of trial and error.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're here's another bit of Mints and Drops Alpha. If you're trying to achieve a certain number of something, then that might take you 15 or 20 generations to get that number. So our little secret lock, if you like, code is or riddle is 676. We know that's the HEDERA, 76 and 7. So there's the biggest hint I can give you as to what that's about. And so for instance, one of the traits, and this is nothing to do with the numbers, it is fur, and one of the furs is gold. And we want to have a gold squad, because who doesn't like being part of the gold squad, right, Phil?
We love it.
exactly. So I wanted a certain number of gold for H bears. So that's all part of that process. Because that then creates interest, and then you can play around with things. And you look at Hangry and the Rebels, for instance.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant twist. And it just creates interest, it creates utility within the project itself. And when certain things happen through this process, I was actually like running around the house going like not a eureka moment, but I was just high-fiving myself because there's no one else around. this thing had happened, and this idea came in. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, I didn't even think about this, but there's that moment where you go, I've just thought of something really cool, unique for this project. And it just meant that all that time we've waited and redone the artwork, and because I'd be generating art probably, I would say, before Christmas, and
Well,
it would generate, and then you go through 676 one-of-one Generation HH bears, and you're looking at how each one's layered, and then you might find, because with the Emporium, there's always a mistake, right? You might find one little pixel that's out of place, and you're going to go, okay, I've got to go back. I need to change that layer. I need to add that back into the folders to be able to generate from. And you go through a process of refining things. And the process was brilliant. It was great. But when we finally got there and we did that number, everything in terms of rarity was where we wanted it to be. So there are certain things I wanted to be more rare than others. But for instance, if you was to weight it lower, sometimes that it would come out higher than something with a higher weight. So you'd have to regenerate again, look at the artwork. Does this work? Doesn't it work? And we finally, after however many generations, got 676 amazing H bears, rarity in the right order for us, what we think, numbers are in the right place. And literally, I'm nervous to share it with people because it's been such a long time putting it together, because people might, don't like that. And that's okay. It's not for everyone. But I'm so excited because when I'm looking at the artwork, I'm thinking, do you know what? That's all. I love that. That's brilliant. And I get so excited to see what it is. I just hope.
I think that's normal too, right? Because
yeah,
what you it's like giving birth to something, especially for a creation that you've been working on, and you've adding up layers, and it's kind of it comes from a vulnerable place too, because when you're crafting, whether that's a painting, that's a drawing, that's an NFT or whatever, even a show, you're putting a piece of yourself out there, meant for not only people to like, love, enjoy, but to judge at the same time. So 1,000% felt, man. Yeah, for sure.
And that's great. We are open to criticism. We are totally open to feedback, and because we want to grow. And some of the best bits of feedback we've had have been from brutally honest feedback. And I'll talk to the moderators in the Emporium Discord, and even just people in the Disc members, and say, okay, what do you think about XYZ? I want that feedback. And sometimes it's one-on-one dialogues with people, and sometimes it's group discussions. But yes, sometimes you might not like what someone's saying to you, but that's just your ego getting in the way. Actually, when you take time to reflect, and as somebody that's in education, I've learned to take on board everything somebody says. Don't feel threatened by it, and reflect on it, because you can always discuss later and say, actually, no, I disagree, because that's good. It's okay to disagree. You stick with what you believe in. I had conversation with someone that was saying to me, do you think that Generation H is what's right at the moment for your projects? Does it really link in well with bringing on young people into it? It's got lots of different rabbit holes. Should it be refined? And I reflected on that. But actually, I said to myself, well, the Emporium is about different directions and different rabbit holes. But for us, Generation H is bringing everything into a very, very clear moment. So, there will be 676 Generation H.
It's
bringing farming and staking. Another little bit. Mint drops alpha. We've minted 25 million pixel tokens, right? What we're going to do with
25 millions.
25 million, all fungible. So
let's go.
We sat down, we did the maths, we got advice. We're not looking to be a tradable token. There's no value to but what we wanted to be able to do is reward holders, and there's a reason for those numbers. But it might be, so I'm a bit of I wear Nike, but I cherish my Adidas Ultra Boosts. I'm an Adidas junkie. I love the fact that I can buy Adidas products, I get points, and it gives me discount, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So for me,
it's a circle.
Exactly. We've got a merchandise store. People holding their tokens get a certain amount of points and trade that in for a discount token. Why can't, for instance, if we're looking at farming, and again, this is in our future roadmap, so we might decide to use Lazy Super Farms, because what an amazing platform that is. It's great if you've done your HEDERA hashcraft cards and you've done one of their missions. It's a phenomenal thing. So maybe that then becomes tradable with Lazy tokens, so then you can farm. But obviously there's regulatory compliance to think about. There's lots of different things that we need to do in order to clarify exactly where we're going with that. But that's our plan. We want to be able people to be able to use Generation H and maybe use Series 1, 2 HBears as a boost to farm future Emporium NFTs. Maybe they get some pixel drops. Maybe they get a batch of certain types of HBears, because for us, we've done HBears before, but they've always been in batches of 10s and 20s and 50s. None have been one of one, apart from maybe charity auctions. So it's an opportunity to do that. And again, it's in exploration of our education, learning the space. What do people want? How will it work? And we're excited to put that into place. So after the
it's a balance.
And things are figured out. Okay, what do the community want? How do we drive that forward? And we're so lucky now in the HEDERA ecosystem to have options. HBAR space, for instance, phenomenal.
Yeah, big shout out to Emmerich. For sure.
Him and Wincy, what a great team. So much, and with Baptiste and DJ, Lazy Superhero, and kind of that stable, the tools. I mean, there's so much of Kabila. There's so many of these cool tools now that we have.
Flashback a year ago, we had nothing. So imagine in a year, and I just to touch back on what you were saying earlier on, you have all these glorious ideas, in my opinion. It's all in the pockets, right? Or in a canvas. And you also spoke about criticism, and it's all about balance, in my opinion, too, where you have, again, this canvas that you're launching now with the HBears, an idea that you had way back and that you worked on for a year and a half now, which is 10 years again. And you're just throwing it out there next week. And after that, you're going to gather criticism, whatever, people saying, yes, good, bad, no, yes, no, I don't know. And then it's going to be a melting pot for you to move on to iterate on that. That's the key to this, is balance while remaining yourself, right? Because we all know what HBear is. We all know what Batty Hatti is. We all know who it is. We all know the Emporium. But all to that is in moving, constantly moving, and you have to. It's balance, truly.
Absolutely, and at our heart will always be education, creativity, and fun. Raising awareness of mental and social health issues, helping people to come into the space, directing people to other people that might be able to onboard them better than us, and about, if you like, helping to grow the HEDERA community and maintain its ethos. We almost want to act as an amplifier to what resonates for all of us in the community. I'd say that the majority of people in the HEDERA community are here for the same reason. That's to see the ecosystem, people within it succeed. We can contribute to that, and goals, exactly. And we're not trying to be something we're not. We know we are a family-run project. Hattie does some artwork, and we talk
respect, man,
and so on. But I haven't got a team. I haven't got a budget. We're doing things our way, and who knows where the journey will take us, right? We'll do it with integrity, and we'll do it in the right way, and we'll do it in an honest way. And if we make mistakes along the way, we'll say, yeah, we made mistakes.
That's life. That's the journey, right? Yeah.
We're very conscious now of the fact that people are investing time, energy, and HBAR in us as a project. So we have to make sure we have an obligation to ensure that actually we think about them as well. Because before it was about our creative process and what we were putting out there, and people bought the HBERs in Series 1 or they didn't. We didn't realise about the responsibility of a project in that respect because we were very naive to the space. Now we do, and we cherish our community. We cherish the members that pop in and just say hi, because when you're in a Discord, and let's face it, the space has grown to the point now where you can't keep up, and you are going to be involved in big Discords, lots of energy, big projects, and you're going to spend a lot of time there, quite rightly so. So therefore, projects like ours aren't always going to be consistently busy in the Discords. We'll hold New Year's Eve parties and everyone's coming because it's good fun, right? Or we'll hold a summer solstice party and everyone will come along. But to expect there to be a steady stream of activity throughout the week, every day, is unrealistic because the space isn't that big yet. It's not big enough. So when you pop in and says, hi, how is everyone? It's like energizing. Oh, great, no problem. They come and say hi, they go off to their regular Discord. Not, I do exactly the same.
Or to their regular life. I mean, that's what it is, and that's the core of it, man. Yeah, for sure. Because at one point, you have to make choice. You have to make a choice where you're putting your 45 seconds, where you're putting your 2 minutes, where you're putting your 35 minutes lunch break. So, and we've come up to a point where you cannot pass by every single Discord unless that's your full-time job. We've come up to this point, maybe at the turn of the last heat wave we've had, like say autumn or so, where you had to make choices. And we've just experienced another boom right now with like 10, 15, 20 new projects that's, going ham. So you have to make choices, man.
Absolutely. It's so exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting to see that. And then when you've been here a long time, and it's brilliant. I mean, the news today about Dell, for instance, like that's blimey, another amazing council member. We're really moving in the right direction, and
we are.
We're lucky. We're fortunate to be part of this community, and we're fortunate enough to have people take time out to put an arm around our shoulder, to put wind in our sails, and we're the same. We'll try and encourage and support as many projects as we can because we like to do that. It's all about giving back at the end of the day. But as a project, there's that growth in our understanding of, okay, so let's look after everyone. Let's try and make sure there's value in what we're doing as well. Which for me, if someone's holding Generation HBER and they can earn a 15% discount voucher on a Stronger Together t-shirt, brilliant. I mean, you've Stronger Together hoodie. I think that what a specimen of a man to even wear such a great bit of apparel.
I don't have it today. It's in the laundry room right now. So I thought about it like 2 minutes before getting on. But it's super comfortable. By the way, anyone who's not aware, Batty has a website for merch. It's absolutely elite. I got a hoodie. The quality is amazing. I wore it for like 4 days and nonstop, sleeping with it. My daughter was like looking at me like, it's really comfortable. There's plenty of merch. There's hats, right? There's t-shirts and whatnot. Really great quality. So,
you talk about your daughter. Actually, that's our next step for this year, is to look at bringing in a younger line for younger people to wear, a bit more kind of child friendly, if you like. And we're going to do some Gen H merch, but it's going to be a little bit more limited edition, a little bit more exclusive. I've shown a few people a few sneaks, and we're getting feedback on that. So that's great. And so if people can get some utility from their NFTs, and that can allow them to do that, that's great. And who knows where that takes us in the future.
With you, man, with you working so hard, we brother, you're I don't know how you do it in 24 hours, man, because you got what you got planned on for, like, say, not too far away, because this goes way too fast, but in terms of 2 months maybe until, like, say, Q2, because you got the Bears important to tackle on. You got a merch site, you got the pixels coming up at the end of summer, you got the Lost Tapes with our boy VCZ. Man,
So,
I don't know how you do it.
So I will give a shout out to my wife and my son, and because ultimately there is a sacrifice to be made.
For sure.
Sacrifice is time. So I would say, and I had a conversation with my wife the other day, and it was a bit of a, is this worth it?
Yeah.
So, and it was just because it came up in as a discussion, and I said, the sacrifice that we're making is time together, and I don't want to be in a position in years to come and regret it. I don't want to regret the time that I've sacrificed with you and with the kids because I've made the wrong decision. So, for instance, it was a family member's birthday, and I'd committed to a meeting, and I believe in integrity. And if you commit to something, unless it's something that's really out of your control, you make the decision. So my decision was to not go to the family event. We'd already sort of had dinner as a family a few days before, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was still a family meeting.
The essence of the,
I made a choice, and the choice was to not go. And for me at the time, it was the right decision to make, and it was, but it meant that I didn't go to that event and experience the fun and laughter that they had. So I wasn't present for that, and that's okay. So without their support, I wouldn't be where I am now, and that is that they give me time. The upside is, hopefully, as we become more successful, then we'll have more time because we'll have
more time. Yeah.
So in terms of moving forward in the next 2 months, sorry to go off on a tangent. So you have the CZ, the lost tapes. I mean, I'm fortunate to still have some involvement in CZ. So we loved collaborating with V1. It was phenomenal, and it was great that we shared ideas and we produced V1 and the project launched, and that's great. At that point, we stepped away, other than being involved in the community, because what a great Discord it is. Vicente's a great guy, love being in the space. So when Vicente reached out, I said, look, I've got this idea. Do you want to produce the art for the lost tapes? It was like, yes, absolutely. Because it took us out of a comfort zone again. It meant that we had to learn new skills. Of the, I don't know if I can say that, it's alpha or not. Anyway, the mechanics of something that I've produced is technically really difficult. And it meant that we had to use new software. We had to try and do things differently. So I'm really excited for Lost Tapes, and we were working on I've been working on Lost Tapes alongside Generation H. There's also another project I've been working on, which I can't disclose yet. I think I was going to be disclosed this week or next week, but I can't say it yet because I don't know if I'm allowed to. But I've been working on that as well. And so the Lost Tapes, brilliant. Can't wait. I think the vision Vicente has is going to be phenomenal. And actually, I quite like doing the tapes. It sounds a bit sad, but I quite like coming up with different variations. And some of them are like fire. I'm like, I'll message Vicente going, look at this. And he'll be like, yeah, that's really cool. Or, question mark. So we got that going on to get done. Obviously, we've got the launch of Generation H. The whitelist is the 13th. And your main one is the 14th, 8 p.m. UTC. I can exclusively reveal the price. It's 500 HBAR per mint.
On the Sentient platform, right?
HEDERA Sentient, Sam and his team have done a phenomenal job.
Big shout out to them. Big shout out to the entire team. Brilliant. I mean, savages, man. They never stop, man. Yeah.
They don't.
Big shout out to them.
Absolutely phenomenal. They've been so supportive of us. It's phenomenal. Obviously, there's lots of projects coming in the pipeline. I think one of the things we talk about actually is what project we're looking forward to. But so we get the whitelist minted. Pixel drops will get finished off in terms of Series 2 and get ready for the launch down in the summer. We look at the farming and the staking. That's next. What platform do we use? We want to get community voice on what we do with that. I need to get advice in terms of the legalities of. I know HGraph Punks, for instance, were going to have a token. They didn't because of legal advice, and I think patches were process.
Smart.
A way to do something now, or maybe it's
smart AF.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, that whole team, patches have been so supportive of us, and again, another example of amazing community members who go above and beyond to support those in the community moving forward. So that's, if you like, the initial next couple of months. Moving forward,
you get us hyped, man. You got us hyped for sure.
It's really weird. So we've got loads, right? So but for us, it's quite dependent on how well Generation H goes. So, you know, if we sell out and it goes how we want to, then we kind of know our next steps.
Yeah.
And know which direction we go in. If it doesn't, then we'll obviously have to think, okay, well, how do we...
You're going to have choices, but I'm sure it'll go well. I'm sure it'll go well. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I truly believe the feedback that we give. So we gave out our whitelist tokens to our community members. I didn't want it on a secondary market being sold. I just wanted our VIP holders who have been with us from the start or you know, for a long time and had faith in us to be able to say, look, here's your whitelist tokens, give them to your friends, do giveaways, do whatever you want. We wanted to share.
A cool concept.
The community, right? We want to share. And I keep doing snapshots and I'm seeing them filter across the community, and more wallets now just have, you only have one, you don't need to stack them, you know, there'll be no limit on whitelist day unless it goes crazy. Or I might say to Sam, you know, if we sell X amount, just cap it off, that's it. But I don't know how it works.
That's going to be a great problem if it happens.
Yeah,
I hope it happens for you, man. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
But for us, you know, Generation H will be what we need. So from a zoomed out perspective, one of the things we want to start to do is to help educate the educators. So as well as being creative and creating NFTs and those sorts of things, I want to start to look at creating curriculum content and resource to be able to start to distribute to educators. We've got loads of great resources for onboarding people into Web3, but actually how is Web3 and us as a community penetrating into the education system? Because the education system still doesn't even teach young people about mortgages and bills and finance.
That's terrible.
The education.
That's a blasphemy.
It's awful, and I'm an advocate.
Not even how to do your taxes, bro. They don't even teach that. That's terrible. Exactly. How to make money, not only go out of passion and do the work that you love, but just how to make money.
I
mean, that's crucial. I mean, you know, it's a huge part of the, you know, how to hold and, you know, this whole life that we're all having as parents too, man. I mean, it's crucial, and we don't teach that in schools. Absolutely. Anywhere in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my role has changed slightly this year, and I've gone back to spend a little bit more time at the chalk face. I'm not a great academic, but I like to be in it. I like to be in the classroom, be involved. And I ran a session, just an impromptu session on inflation, and the students I was working with were blown away by the fact that when I was in my 18, 19s, I could go out with £20, go to a bar, drink, eat, go club, get a taxi and have change. And
today,
to that, they would start, how does that work? And just the concept. So, you know, I advocate for classrooms of the future. I want to see Web3 and technology used. So get this, for instance, and maybe it's going off on a tangent, and feel free to edit this out. But imagine a young person open up a textbook in history, and inside that textbook is a QR code, and it's about, I don't know, say it's World War I.
Yeah.
They literally whip out a headset because it's part of their learning equipment. They scan the QR code, whap on this VR headset or even augmented reality, and they're in the trenches, walking around, talking to soldiers, maybe finding out about a poet or an artist that was there, play football with some soldiers at Christmas Day. Whatever it is, then that life experience becomes a reality. Maybe you're a student that is completely disaffected with the education system, and why wouldn't you be? Because it's a one-size-fits-all system. And I can't speak globally across the board, but from where I am, that's how it is. So you're being moved from school to school, you're being excluded. Imagine if you could put on this VR headset, be in SpaceX's lab or Formula One lab, and you are
it's coming.
Measuring the tools, learning which tools do what, building an engine, and to race that car. Imagine how engaging that would be. And I know that we're talking 20, 30 years time down the line, but there are
Who knows? Who knows? It could come. You know,
Why
VR
not?
sets are coming in, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be fast.
But imagine that. But then imagine, I mean, if this is zoom this out, if you like. Imagine that we have tools as individuals to record moments of our life, and it's recorded on the blockchain. Imagine that, say, for instance, the earthquake in Turkey. Imagine you were there, and on your phone in a week or 2 weeks' time, maybe it popped up and it said, "How did you feel in this moment in time?" And you do like a 1 minute to video. I was really scared. This happened. So now travel forward 200 years, and you're in the classroom and you learn about earthquakes, and then you can go, were any of my family members or friends involved in an earthquake? And you can go down your family tree, and there's this video clip from 200 years ago of a loved one that was involved in that earthquake. Imagine how powerful that would be.
Well, man, yeah, it is. Giving me chills. Yeah, for sure. And
so if I can produce a resource which a teacher or an educator might use in their learning environment, great. So going back to where we're headed, yes, we're still doing our community and our NFT work, but
with this precise message.
How can we develop some resources to help or educate the educators? And that's for us time dependent. That's not a quick project.
Well, brother, you will have to come back for a third time. That's for sure, man. We should, man. Wow, that's it's super thrilling and interesting. I got a jet, but we got to talk about this again, man. That's super interesting. That's a side of things I did not think about at all.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow.
Do you want me to quickly highlight some projects looking forward to, Phil?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead. When are you dropping? Is it the 13th?
Drop on the whitelist is the 13th. Public is the 14th.
What platform?
HEDERA Sentient.
Yeah. What time?
8 o'clock UTC.
I cannot wait. I'm sure you will strive. Again, we will push this. I want to take, again, this moment to say that I truly value the friendship that we have since the very beginning. I think you're, again, a positively driven force to be reckoned with. I got mad respect to all the work that you do, not only as a complete degen, as a man, but especially as a father myself. Best of success, man. And for the Mint and for onward, so you're very much welcome on the show at any given point.
Phil, do you know what? I've loved every second of it. I know that I've rambled on far too long.
That was amazing, bro. That was great.
I love it.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great evening.
Adieu.
Batty, thank you so much for your presence today on the show. I enjoyed my time. It was an amazing one. You brought up some elite points, straightforward, especially with education and NFT. That's a point I never really ventured in. I think this really could be a way for what socials will be about later on, when we're fully integrated, when there's mass adoption, and when we need something even more real, right? Concrete, organic, and that speaks to us, especially through amazing or less fun historical moments. Thank you so much for passing by to the show. And thank you everyone who tuned in today. And I will see you on the next show.